things that we did in the previous class. We started working on the questions and answers from the examples related to the Ohm's law. Okay, V is equal to IR. Okay, the voltage is directly proportional to current. Okay, and to remove the constant of proportionality, we will introduce resistance. We studied this, and this was observed by a scientist called as George Simon Ohm, right? So we also defined the 1 ohm, okay, which is the resistance required, okay, by a conductor to resist the flow of 1 ampere of current across 1 volt of the potential difference or the electric potential. Now, if you see the factors on which the resistance of a particular conductor can depend on will be the length of the wire used. So related to the length, okay, the resistance is directly proportional. Then if you are talking about the cross section of the wire used, which is nothing but the thickness, it is inversely proportional. Okay, and when you combine the equations together, you get a third equation, okay, which is resistance is equals to rho L by A. Rho L by A. Okay. R is the resistance. Rho is the resistivity, which is again a constant of proportionality. Okay. Which depends on the type of material that you use. For insulators, the value of resistivity is higher. We know that, right? Because they can resist a lot of flow of electricity through them. Okay. This is called as RHO rho, and the SI unit is ohm meter. How to derive this? We have even derived it here. Okay. Now, apart from that, okay, if you're talking about the metals and alloys are nothing but mixtures of more than one metal. Okay, more than one metal when you have, it will be an alloy. Okay, more than one metal. Now, the metals and alloys have a lower resistivity but high conductivity, whereas insulators have high resistivity and low conductivity, right? We gave the examples of copper, silver, and aluminium related to their resistivity. This is what we did in yesterday's class. We wrote down their values, which is also given in the textbook. So for conductors and alloys, it is very negligible. It's very, very negligible. But apart from that, if you are talking about insulators, you can see that it is the highest, and the glass has a high amount of resistivity. Okay, ebonite has also a higher amount, but ebonite is expensive. Okay, it's ebonite rod. That's why we prefer glass in our household. Okay, best used in household. The higher resistivity belongs to ebonite rod, but the problem is it's quite expensive for us to actually use it in our daily life. Okay, so that's why we depend on the other objects like glass. So we started solving the questions. Okay, there were a few doubts which we cleared. This question was how to find out the current that will flow through the electric bulb when you're using a 220 volt, which is the electric potential, and 1200 ohms is the resistance used. Okay, similar question was asked in part B also, so this was easy question. Okay, next. In the example 12.4, actually, there was a little bit of mistake. This was the last question that we did. So while doing it at the last moment, what happened is you're supposed to find the current. Okay. If you increase the potential difference to 120 volt, what will be the, current. So basically, first you find the resistance, which will remain the same because the material is not getting changed. So if you increase or decrease the current or the potential, there will be no change in your resistance because you are using the same material. Okay, so it was changed to 120, right? So instead of 60 plus 20, you should write only 120 because they are just changing it. Okay, I thought that we are going to increase it. Though they have written the word increased, just take the normal value. Okay, just take the normal value which is given. So 120 volt by 15 ohm. Okay, so the voltage is increased. Now you will see you have 120 by 15. See, if it was something which says that the difference was given, no, in the initial and the later, then you would have taken or added it. But here you don't have to add it because they are just changing it. The whole value is changed. So you're not adding it to the previous voltage. Okay, you're just taking the new voltage as it is. So here it will be 120 by 15. So the answer will be 8 ohms, 8 ampere and not 12 ampere. Okay. It will be 8 ampere. That was a small correction required. Okay. If you have not corrected it, please correct it. Okay. Please correct it. All right. So for Gautami, Mahashri, Rashmi, Sachin. Okay. We have seen all these things, how to take it up. Any doubts, Mahashri? And Rashmi, since Rashmi had a doubt yesterday, we just cleared it out. What about other kids? Sachin, Gautami, yes, you can use your chats, no problem. 1 second. No, very good. Okay. So I believe even Sachin and Rashmi and Gautami also doesn't have any kind of doubts. Yeah. There's somebody, very good. Okay, there's somebody called as Sejal with us in the session. So very good evening, Sejal. This is your first session. We have already completed chemical equations and reactions. This is the second chapter. Today, we will do few more numericals in the examples, and then we are starting with the system of resistors arranged in series and parallel. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you another question now. If you have any kind of doubts, okay, do let me know. Okay, so do let me know. There's one more chat. Okay, so Rashmi says, please explain the Ohm's law again. So let me just explain it here itself to you. First of all, to understand what is Ohm's law, okay, to understand what is Ohm's law, there was an experiment that was carried out for a constant, potential difference through a material. So I'm going to plot a graph for that. So basically what is happening here is, let me tell you, on the y-axis, you consider your voltage. Okay, this is your y-axis. On the x-axis, you consider current. Current is nothing but flow of electrons, which is electricity itself. So current is represented through the capital symbol I, and voltage can be represented through actually capital symbol V. Let me tell you one thing. Through a particular material, especially a conductor or a metallic wire, the flow of current, suppose this is a wire, the flow of current will flow from one end to the other end. Across the ends, you will also have the difference in the voltage, which is your potential difference or electric potential. It will be constant. The flow of current will be directly proportional to the flow of voltage, or you can say the difference in the voltage between the two ends of the wire. If this is the starting end, this can be the ending point. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. you'll get a uniform graph. Always a uniform graph is represented through a straight line. That means equal current flows through equal voltage. So you can just extend this 1 second. I'll just redraw this. You get a straight line graph. Straight line always represents uniformity between the things. So it's a uniform straight line graph. This experiment was carried out by George Simon Ohm. He was a scientist, or you can say in better words, he was a physicist. He was from physics department. Okay. George Simon Ohm. That's why he has named it as Ohm's law, because he was the one who discovered it. So you'll get some values. Okay. So I'm just trying to plot it roughly. There's an experiment. So we will watch the activities experiments if we find them on YouTube after we discuss the chapter. That's how we do it. And then we discuss all the internal questions and the exercise questions. So that means at equal potential difference, the flow of current will be directly proportional to it. So to remove the constant of proportionality, see, you can't find out any value if you have constant of proportionality involved. To remove that and find out the values, you have to remove it. And to remove it, you need to put an equal to sign and introduce a constant. That constant will be your resistance. That constant will be your resistance. So voltage or electric potential is equal to the product of resistance into current. Okay, how much current can be resisted? Resistance means what? Prevention of flow of current through a particular object. Okay, R is resistance. So this is Ohm's law. V is equal to IR or RI, anything. It can be IR or IR or RI. It can be anything. So let me just take it up. Okay. And you can rearrange the formula to use it at any point of time. You can also use it as I is equal to V by R or R is equal to V by I. When you know two quantities and when you have to find the unknown quantity. Okay. So these are the things that we will know. I'll just switch off my video for some time. Okay. And then we'll proceed. If you have any further doubts, do let me know. Okay. All right. Yes. So there's a chat. Okay. Mahashri says, what is resistance and rheostat? Okay. Resistance, rheostat. Rheostat is an object which measures resistivity. Okay, Mahashri. Rheostat measures, sorry, not resistivity, it measures resistance. Okay. Resistance is measured by a particular instrument called rheostat. Okay, I think I have written it somewhere. Have I written it? Okay, I have not written it, but we have drawn the symbol before. Okay, no problem. I'll just write it down here. Okay, what is resistance? See, so yeah, here's your answer. If Ohm's law is clear, please let me know. I'm trying to explain this resistance thing. What is resistance? See, basically, if you want to understand in very, very simple words, it is nothing but, excuse me, it is the way of preventing flow of current. Very simple meaning of it. Way of preventing excuse me, flow of current. Okay. So resistance was observed through an experiment called as Ohm's law, which was defined by a German scientist or physicist called as George Simon Ohm. So if you want to write down about resistance, you can just write it down as property of any conductor. Because you know that insulator is anyways a resistant object, right? It will allow a very minimum current to pass through. But they are talking about property of a conductor, okay, or any object which tries to resist the flow of current through it at constant temperature. So always your conductor will not easily allow the flow of electricity. Suppose the flow of electricity is going on, there will be somebody as an obstacle which will prevent it from moving further. This obstacle is your resistance. So at some points the current cannot flow through few things properly. Those are your points of resistance. And the device used to measure what? Resistivity is nothing but the same thing, okay? Resistivity is nothing but, resistivity is different, sorry. I'm talking about rheostat, okay? Device which is used to measure resistance is what? Just now I told the name of it. It's rheostat. Resistivity is different. Resistivity is again a constant which is introduced depending on the property of the material being utilized. Okay. Basically, resistivity is something. What is that? Depending on a particular material, what happens is, like insulators, alloys, metals, semiconductors. We are not studying about semiconductors. Some of the objects do not allow electricity to pass through properly. So at that point of time, what can happen? This resistivity can depend on the nature of the material being used. Resistivity is the property of a material, okay, which allows a object to give its complete resistance to the flow of current or electricity. So which are the best resistors? Obviously insulators, but a conductor also tries to resist it at some points of time. Okay, that's why we are learning about it. Okay, and rheostat is a device to measure that. Okay, that's all. Any doubts? So can I move further? All right. So today we have some questions based on the same thing. Today we have to take up system of resistors. Okay, we will take up system of resistors. Any kind of doubts, do let me know at any point of time. Okay, that's fine. You can keep asking it till it's clear. That's not a problem. But we'll go ahead with that also. Okay. All right. So now let's scroll down and go ahead. Okay, 1 second. So I'm just going to bring the question up. I'm trying to bring up the question. Another example. Okay, we are using the same formula. You know what happens when you increase or decrease the temperature? Your resistance varies for a material. But if the temperature is constant, no, and if the same material is used without changing the temperature, then it's easy to understand what is current and voltage. So I'm going to give you another question. Okay, 1 second. Yes, so I'll just copy paste it here. Oh, I just went above, I think, by mistake. Did it get pasted? No, it did not. Okay, let me check. Yeah, now it's pasted. Okay, there's a question from Sejal. She's asking, how can we say that in a given change, a chemical reaction has taken place? Okay, given change, a chemical reaction. So this is from the chapter of chemical changes. We have not yet taken up chemical change in electricity part. That comes up later. But let me tell you one thing, Sejal. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Chemical changes are nothing but those changes when you cannot retrieve back the same object. Okay, when you cannot get back the same thing back. For example, burning of candle has both physical and chemical changes. Why? Suppose this is a candle. I light it up. I light it up. What happens when the candle burns? It starts melting. It starts producing wax. If you melt that wax, you get back the candle again. Then why is it a chemical change? The reason is it is also a chemical change because when you burn something, there's a reaction of oxygen with that product. So oxygen is reacting with your candle. Okay, that is a chemical change. That is a chemical change. You can get back the same candle if you mold or if you melt this wax. You will get back the same candle back. No problem in that. Okay. And what about other chemical changes? Chemical changes like if you burn magnesium ribbon, you burn it, you'll get ashes, white powder, which is magnesium oxide. Can you get back magnesium from it? Only when you decompose it, but then you have to follow some processes. But then getting back magnesium from magnesium oxide is not so easy. It's a chemical change. Cutting, like cutting your nails, cutting or trimming your hairs are physical changes. They will come back. Okay, they will come back. All right. But a chemical change, you won't get back the same object. Like formation of curd. Can you get back milk from curd? From curd, are you able to get back milk back? Not possible. Not possible. Okay. Any kind of doubts? No doubts? Just let me know because I'll be proceeding ahead. Yes.
No
okay,
doubts, ma'am.
So, okay. All right. That's great. Fine. So I'm just going to proceed ahead with this. Now tell me how to solve this question. Has anybody already solved it? Okay, if you have already solved it, great work. Okay, my dear kids. Now, if you want me to explain this, definitely, yes, I am going to explain it. So no worries with that. Okay, let me just explain you this thing. 1 second, okay? So let me just try explaining this thing to you. It says, I just want to put it a little bit above. Yeah. So what does this say to you over here? Resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohms at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now temperature is coming into picture. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 mm, okay, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? Okay, they are telling using table 12.2. Now your table 12.2 in your textbook is the table that gives resistivity values or the values of rho for different materials like alloys, etc. Okay. So how can you actually take it up? Okay, how can you take it up? So the first line is resistance is 26 ohms. Okay. So if I actually write it down over here, R, okay, it will be 26 ohms. Okay. Length is 1 meter. Okay. And temperature, you can take it as small t or capital T, anything that you like, 20 degrees Celsius. Then the diameter of the wire will help you to find the area of the cross section. So the diameter is 0.3 mm over here. Okay. All right. So you can convert it, or you can convert the length of 1 meter into mm. But let me tell you, yes, very good. But let me tell you that the standard unit of length is meter, so we won't change that. But if you want to do it later, it will be a little complicated. So let it be 1 meter. Instead, we can change the diameter. So it's 0.3 mm, which is 3 by 10 mm, right? Millimeter needs to be changed to meter. You will divide it again. You will divide it again by what? How much? 1000. Okay. So you will divide it by 1000 over here. And then just give me 1 minute. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. All right. Yes. So let's take it up further. Okay. Let's take it up further over here. Now, what are the things that you're going to do here? This is meter. Okay. Convert it. What you will get? 3 into 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 4. Right? Okay. After this is in meter. It's converted. Now, what are the other things that you have to understand here? You need to find out resistivity. Okay, how will you find this? Which formula you will use here to find out this? These are the given conditions or the given information to you. How will you find it out is my question. You have a formula with you. Okay, you have a formula with you. The formula is R is equal to rho L by A. Okay, but you have to find area of the wire. How will you find area? They have given you diameter. You know what is the shape of a wire? Cylindrical. Okay. So how will you find the area? Pi r square, right? Because this is like a circle, right? This represents just like a circle. So can you not find it out? Pi r square. Pi is what? It's a constant again. Okay. You can take that out. Pi r square. Since you have diameter, just take pi d square also. Anything is fine. Okay. Whatever is easy, you can take it up. Okay. Anything that you like. So let's understand it. Okay. A is area of wire. Okay, A is area of wire. So let's find out the area first. Okay, who will tell me how will you find the area? See, length is 1 meter. Area is, how do you find the area of wire? Cylinder's area. Okay, cylinder's area, because the face of the wire is circular. Okay, that's why we are taking pi r square or pi d square by 4. Anything is fine. But what about this? This is the length. No, this is the length. This is the length. Okay. So how can you find this out? This can either be pi r square, my dear kids, or it can be pi d by 2 the whole square, right? Because radius is what? Diameter by 2, right? So this can also be your area. Now, This is just the area of circle. You need to find the area of the whole cylinder. Pi r square by, pi r square into L. Okay. So the area will be, I'm just trying to find the area here. Then I can substitute it to the other side. Okay. So let pi be 22/7 or 3.14. Depending on however you want to take, you can take it. Okay, let it be 3.14. It will be easy for calculations. Okay, diameter is how much? 3 into 10 to the power 4. 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 meters. Okay, next. Multiply it with length. Length is 1 meter. Okay, now see, this is pi d square by 4. It will become pi d square by 4 if you open it outside the brackets. Okay, all right. So what you can do is, the diameter was 3 into 10 to the power minus 4, right? So you can just square it up, this part. Okay, you can just square that up. Now length is 1 meter and then divide it by 4, just like this. Okay, all right. Even in maths, when you have it, okay, like wires or pipes, they are cylindrical only, so that's why we take it. Now what you will do is, you got the area. Okay, you will calculate it and get the area over here. So what exactly is the area? If you want to write it now, you can write it now, or else you can substitute it at any point of time also when you're doing it. Okay, now you need to find out rho. So rho will be what? R into A upon L, which is length of the wire. Okay, so what is RA? R is the resistance. So what's the value of resistance that we have here? 26. Okay, area is this whole. So did anybody calculate the area? Can you calculate and tell me how much do you get here? Let's check. Okay, just do the calculation. 3.14 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, so it will be nothing but 0.0003. Okay, all right. Now that is 0.00942 divided by a 4. You will get a value. Multiply it. Okay, so this area I am getting it as 0.000, okay, 2355, or I can also write it as 2355 divided by how much? How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or your area can also be 2355 into 10 to the power minus 7 meters square. Okay, that's just your area. So I'm going to write it here. It's minus, okay, it's not plus. Okay, now I have substituted it. Length is 1. Now do, this is 10. Okay, now do your calculations. Okay, how much you will get? What answer do you get here? Sorry, there's a 4 also here, right? I forgot to take that. I've just taken the numerator part. There's a 4 as well. Sorry. Okay. This is just the numerator part. Okay. Into 4. 1 second. I'll just erase this. I'll just redo this part. Okay. The 2355 thing is your numerator part. Okay. just the numerator part. You can see how you will get it. Or else let me just do it again so that you don't have any kind of confusion. Okay, don't write it. If there's any kind of confusion, I'll just redo it. Don't worry, okay? All right, so let's write it down once again. Area, pi is 3.14. Diameter is 3 into 10 to the power minus 4, right? So 3 into 10 to the power minus 4, the whole square, into length 1 meter. Okay, now what we will do is, let us divide this by 4 and then see what answer we will get here. Okay, so do this and then tell me what answer you will get over there. So you can just try putting the things over there. Yes, anybody who's getting any values, you can tell your answers also, no problem, okay? All right, so what is 3.14 into 3 square it is, okay? 3 into 3 square is what? 9, you know? It's a 9. So it's a 28.26 into 10 to the power minus 4 into 8, minus 4 into 2 is minus 8. Minus 4 into 2 is minus 8. Why? Because of the law of exponents, right? Now, 28.26 divided by a 4 will be somewhere 7.06 into 10 to the power minus 8. This is just your area. Now it's correct. Now it's correct. Okay. So now let's write down R. How much was the resistance? It was 26, right? Okay. Okay, so how much do you actually get here? Yes, anybody getting any particular values? Yes. 183.56 into 10 to the power minus 8. Okay. At what temperature? 20 degrees Celsius. Do the calculations, you will get it. Now, if you want to compare this value from the table given in your textbook, what you can do here is, you can write it 1.835, just shift the decimals. So if you shift the decimals here, no, on the left hand side, your power will become 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, at 20 degrees Celsius. So this is your answer. So whether you write this answer or this answer, it's the same. Okay, it's the same. So what do you think can be the nature of the material? Look at your textbook. Look at the value. Tell me. Compare it. Tell me quickly. What will that be? Somewhere near 1.8. It could be a manganese, no? It could be a manganese. Right? Yes, it's a manganese. Remember, I gave you a particular example yesterday. I'll show you. For manganese, we have 1.84. Isn't it a manganese? I'll show you. Okay, don't worry, you'll get time to copy that. See, this was manganin. Okay, I think I have not written it here, but if you see the table, you will get it. Yes, it's a manganese. Very good. Okay, and kids, if you have any doubts, do let me know. Yeah. So any kind of doubts here to anybody? See, finding out area is something very important. So initially the answer that we got, no, as I told, 28.26. That time I didn't divide it by a 4. Now this is what you get. And that's how you'll get it. It's manganese. How? After Comparison. Comparison from what? From table 12.2 from the textbook. Rashmi, if you have any doubts to let me know. We'll go to the next question. We'll go to the next question. Okay. All right. If no doubts are there, no worries. Okay. Next question is a bit interesting. So I'm just going to share it across. 1 second. Just going to copy it. Okay. So I've just got the question. I'm just going to put it here after scrolling it down. So here's the question. Let's move the question. I'm unable to select it. Yeah, now I can move it. Yeah. So this is a new question. It says a wire of given material having length. You don't know what material that is. So they're telling the length is L. So let's write it down. Length is L meter. Okay. Area of cross section A. Area of cross section is how much? A meter square. Okay. What's the resistance? It's a capital R, 4 ohms. Okay. Now, what would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having length L by 2? So see, the material remains the same over here, but you are decreasing the length and you are doubling the area. So you need to understand the conditions, how you will be having the things. Suppose the value of R is what? Rho L by A. This is another formula that we have, right? This is another formula that we have. So this is the condition. The resistance is 4 ohms, right? So we'll just write R as 4, rho L by A. Okay. Now, the condition that they are trying to give you is nothing but, see, this is in ohms. Okay. Now, what's the condition they are trying to give you? Okay, they are telling another wire of the same material having length L by 2. So instead of L, you will put what? L by 2, right? Instead of A, you will put 2A. So they are asking, what would be the resistance? You just have to find the resistance. So now let R be the resistance. Let it just be R. Let it not be 4 because you're changing the things. So you will now have to find R. Okay, rho will remain the same. Okay, so we'll see what we will get. L divided by, this 2 will come down in the denominator, it will become 4A, right? So what happened? Now this 4 can go to the other side. Can it go to the other side? Okay. So what exactly happens? Can we do a few things? Let me tell you what you can do. Don't take 4 to the other side because you have to find resistance. Okay. So it will be just 1 by 4. Take 1 by 4 as a constant number outside. Multiply it with rho, multiply it with L by A. This equation can be written in this way. So what does this mean? This is nothing but 1/4 of the previous resistance. Why? Because rho L by A is the original formula here. Okay, original formula here. So what is happening here? It is becoming 1/4 of it. It is becoming 1/4 of it. Okay, so now if you want to differentiate between the resistance, take the previous resistance is R1. Okay, take it as R1. Now, yeah, take it as R1 and put the value of R1. So basically, you can say R1 is equal to 1/4 of this can be your R2, the new resistance. So that means what's the value of R1? It is 4. Okay. So R2 is how much? How can you find it out? It will be, yes. Okay. Sorry, new resistance is R2. Okay, this is R2, sorry. This was R1, this was R2. This is new resistance. I have just changed that 1 and 2. Sorry for that. Okay. Yes, tell me quickly, this is R2. This will be R1. This will be R1. Okay. Yeah. So your new resistance is 1/4 of the previous. What does this mean? 1/4 of previous resistance. That means it's lesser. It is lesser, right? So what can you do now? 4/4. R1 was 4. Okay, R1 was 4 here. Okay, just I changed that by mistake. The new resistance will be R2. New resistance is R2. Okay, that's the only difference. Apart from that, everything else is correct. Okay, apart from that, everything else is correct. Okay, so it will be 1. What's the new resistance? It's 1. Okay, anybody having any doubts? Do you want me to redo this? Just let me know if anybody wants me to redo this part.
What is mean by raw, ma'am?
What is meant by rho? Rho is nothing but it's just a symbol, constant of proportionality. Rho is called as the name. Okay, it's just name, which means how much that material can have resistivity on itself. Okay, it's written as a symbol rho. That symbol's name is rho. Okay, but the name of that thing is resistivity. Okay, all right. Now, somebody says, yes, very good. So, Mahashri, okay, all right, it was a doubt. So, we said that resistivity means what? It's denoted by rho. Okay, so if I write that, then it will be clear. Resistivity is denoted by the symbol rho. I'll just redo this question. I think few people want me to redo this question. Fine, I'll just redo this. Not a problem. Do not worry then. I think in the next class, we'll start with the system of resistors. Okay, no problem. That's okay. First, or I'll start it today only. I'll first finish this. At least we'll study about series. Okay, let's see. Okay, where am I? Yeah. So, first of all, I'll write one important thing. Resistivity, okay, is denoted by rho. This symbol is rho. Okay, the symbol is rho. Okay, all right. But what is resistivity? Property of a metal to do what? Resist the flow. Okay, let me just finish this question up for you. So the question says a wire of given material, okay, having length L. So in the first case, I'll just write it like this now. In case one, what happens? Length is L, meter. Okay. Area of cross section is A. So area of cross section is equal to A meter square. Okay. It's meter square. It's the unit. It's not AM square. Please don't do that. It's just unit. Okay. Next. What's the resistance? 4 ohms, right? So this is my resistance. I will take this as R1 because I have to find out the resistance again. So it is 4 ohms. Done. Let's take the case number 2 or the condition number 2. In the second condition, they are asking us what would be the resistance of another wire of the same material. Okay. So what they are telling is they are reducing the length by half and they are increasing the area of cross section. So when will the area of cross section increase? When you increase the diameter or the radius, right? So you are increasing that. Okay, people will tell that there's nothing that happens, but it's not that. It doesn't mean that if you reduce the length and increase the area, the resistance will not get affected. The resistance is proportional to length directly, but inversely proportional to area. So there will be a lot of changes. Now, how to represent this? Length. It will be L by 2. It's half of the original one. Okay. Next, area of cross section is 2A. Okay. Now you need to find out resistance R2 question mark. So how will you find it? Let me scroll down. Okay. So we'll use the things, the same formula. R is equal to rho L by A. This is the general formula, no? Okay. So my new resistance is R2. I'll just write R2. Now, what is my new length? So R2 is equals to rho remains the same. No changes in that because they have not given us any information about that. Length is becoming half. So the new length is L by 2. Okay. The new area is becoming doubled. It's 2A. In maths, what happens if you have L by 2 divided by 3, for example, this 2 will come down in the denominator. So it will become 2 into 3, L by 6. This is what happens in maths, right? So we are using the same thing. Okay. We are doing the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm continuing this. L remains in the numerator. 2 will come down. It will become 2 into 2 into A. So now what it will become? L by 4A. L by 4A, right? So rho L by A is the formula of resistance with help of resistivity. So they have given us two formulas till now. R is equal to VI and also R is equal to rho L by A. So we are using this formula, right? Now, this 4A you have to convert this equation into the original form back. Take 1 by 4 outside, okay, or just separate it out. Multiply it with rho, multiply it with L, multiply it with A. The same thing, you're just rearranging it. First it was L by 4A, take that 1 by 4, put it in the other place. You're just doing that. You're not doing anything else. Okay. Then it will be 1 by 4 times. This whole thing is your resistance only, this formula. So replace it with R1 because you have an R1 in the beginning. Okay, replace it with R1. So what's the value of R1? 4 ohms. So 1 by 4 into 4 is how much? 1 ohm, right? Okay. This is the way of explanation. Actually, that time I just wrote R1 and R2 here and there. That got exchanged. Okay. This is 1 ohm. Done? Any doubts? Just let me know. Okay. Yes, no doubts. Very good. Rashmi, if you have, just let me know. So I'll just take class for 2 to 3 more minutes. Then we can just leave. Okay, no problem. All these questions are given in your book. I'll take up the example questions. Sorry, these are example only. We'll take up the more questions. Do not worry about those. Okay, don't worry about those. If at any point of time we require some extra classes on weekends, we will try to schedule that on maybe a Google Meet or something if this ID is not free by any chance. So don't worry about that. Learn as much as you can, but learn everything thoroughly as much as you can. Do not overload yourself. Ask questions if you don't understand. Okay. Now, I'll just explain you one small thing and then you can leave. So, the system of resistors which we'll take in the next week. Okay. System of resistors. I think tomorrow you'll have your maths class. Okay, that's why. System of resistors. What does this mean? This means arrangement of the resistors. Why do we need so many resistors? To prevent lot of flow of current. If you do not provide resistance, there could be a collapse. There could be short circuits. So it's important to have resistance. It's important to have voltage. It's important to have current flow. Everything is important. You need light, you need fan, you need everything. But you need them very carefully. So resistance are required. Just like you have speed breakers to reduce your speed. Yeah. Okay. So in arrangement of resistors, what happens? We have 2 types, series and parallel. So let me tell you one small thing. Series means what? Connecting one beside each other. I'll explain you this thing in the next week class from the beginning, like from the starting by drawing the diagram. So don't worry. One beside each other. So just like, if you have, this is one resistor in a circuit, then I give another resistor here. Then again, I give another resistor. R1, R2, R3. For example, more than one resistor. You can also have R1 and R2. It's not important that minimum is 3, nothing like that. One beside each other. Let me tell you, in a series arrangement, there will be a lot of resistance. Current will be less. Because resistance is directly proportional to voltage, but inversely proportional to I. V is equal to IR. Got it? Resistance is inversely proportional to current. More the resistance, less the current. Next. In parallel, what happens? You place them one below each other. So in this, the resistance gets reduced. One below each other. R1, R2. So this is the basics.